Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'll be working on the cylinder head and the safety valve plate. We'll put that aside for the minute. I've got the drawing here. On the head I've done most of the work, all the steamways, because the steam comes up through the cylinder into here, and then you can't really see it, but I had drilled and plugged that area there, so the steam comes up through there into there. That's the safety valve, and then it travels through that hole there, which is, I don't know if you can see it on here. The steam's coming up through that hole. Safety valve, that's from the boiler, and then through that hole which joins those two holes together, the steam goes through there into there, and this place is for the governor. But what we're doing at the minute is this part here. So what I got to do now, on the ends of here, if you look at the drawing, there's an 1/8 hole going through there, both sides, and then counterboard 5/16 both sides, and then, where is it? Where is it? There. Then there's 2 studs each side, 6BA. So that's what we're going to do first, work on the ends of those. So let's get that marked out and set up on the milling machine. Right, I've put some dicum on each side of that. When that's dried properly, I'll mark out the holes on each end. Right, the dicum's dried now, look, so I'll get on and mark these out. I'll just put it in the vise and I'll show you how I'm doing it. Right, so the centre of all those holes is 5/16 down from the top. So that's the first line I'm going to mark. Through there. Next thing I'll do is mark the middle of that. And then the 2 6BA holes are 1/2 inch centres. So let's find the middle of that. Right, so we got 836.5, so that'll be 418. 418.5. What I'll do is I'll mark both sides of that. Perfect. Right, then I gotta go 250 less. So that's 168.5. Right, I'll just check with a ruler that they're 1/2 inch apart, which they look like. Let's go with that. $505. Spot on. Yeah, beautiful. Right. So I'll just centre punch those. Turn it round and I'll mark out the other side. Right, they're centre punched. Right, I'll just mark the other side out and I'll get back to you. Right, that's both sides done, ready for drilling. So I get this mounted in the vise on the milling machine now. Right, so I've got that mounted on the milling machine. I've got the bed locked down with the centre above the hole that goes into that area there. So I'll just put a centre drill on that. Now I'll put the 8th drill through there. Right, next thing, while it's there, I'll put the 5/16 drill in. Right. That's deep enough. Right, I'll put the centre drill back in now, and then go and move the cross slide 250 thou this way, back to 0, 250 thou this way. Just put a centre mark on those two marks. 250 that way. Right, now from there, back to 0. And 250 the other way. Right, now I've got to get the tapping drill for a 6BA. Right, so I've got the tapping drill in for the 6BA. Right. I'll move that this way. Now put the taps in. Right, so I've got the tap in. Right, just move this way. I'm just using a digital readout. Right, that's one side done. I'll flip it over and do the other side and then I'll get back to you. Right, that's both of the ends of that done. Let's put it back on the cylinder. Right, so that's the two ends of where the safety valves go in. Next thing, I'll have a look at the drawing and we'll start machining this up. I think what I'll do first, I'll mount it in the vise on the milling machine and flatten that bottom on. And then I'll be able to mount it in the vise and then machine the top, so that's all parallel. Right, let's get that set up. Right, so I've got it set up in the milling machine to skim off the bottom. Let's get that going. Beautiful. Right, what I'll do now is I'll mount that on some parallels in there and just skim that flat on the top, and then we'll machine round the 4 edges. Lovely. Right, putting this on the casting and using a square. This corner here is square, so the first thing I'm going to do is mount that in the middle of the machine like so, and just clean up that edge. Right, that's that side cleaned up. What I'll do is I'll just get a measurement for the width and see how much I've got to take off the other side to make that nice and parallel. Right, I need to take 22 thou off of there. So let's get that going. Right, that's the 22 thou off of there. Just take that out of there. And that fits on there. Oh, that's a lovely, that's nice and parallel. The two sides down each side are nice. Now what I've got to do is I'll just clean up, mount that in there, clean up this end, turn it around and machine it to length. Right, I'm just going to clean up this end here. Now turn it around, take a measurement of how long I've got to machine that to fit on there. Right, to get that to the right length, I've got to take off 117 thou that way. It's literally cleaning up the end. Right, this is the last cut. Right, lovely. Take that out of there and have a look. Right, that fits on there perfectly. Right, so the next thing we've got to do, I'll mark out the back for the holes which bolt that onto there. Right, I've put some blue Dykem on the back of that. Once that's gone off, I'll scribe the lines on where I've got to drill it. Right, so the Dykem's gone off. I can now mark out the holes. Right, so we got two holes here, two holes this side, three holes down through here, and three holes down through there. Right, so the two holes there are 5/16 in from each corner. The same on this end. Now just check for these three holes on the sides. Right, so the middle one is there. Now this end one here goes there. And I'll just check the measurement for the next one here. Right, so this one then goes here. Right, so I'll just get those center punched, ready for drilling. Right, the next thing we'll do, while I've got it here marking out, I'm going to mark this out for these. So you've got a slot 3/8 of an inch deep there, 1/4 inch hole right the way through there and there. And then as you can see, there's a hole through there for the pin. So I've just marked that out. I'll get some Dicom on there. Right, I've got some Dicom on there, so I shall let that dry and then I can mark out the centre of the top. Right, so the Dicom's gone off. Now I can mark the centre. So I'll mark that centre there. So that's the centre. I won't mark the centres of the 1/4 inch holes, but I'll mark the centre that way. Right, so that's the centre, which will be the centre of the slot, which is 3/8 of an inch deep, and then I'll use my digital readout to go to the centres of the 1/4 inch holes. First of all, I'll drill these. Right. So at the minute, that's the tap and drill size for 6BA. What I'll do later on is I'll stick that onto the casting, drill through there, then these will be opened up to 6BA clearance. Right, so the next thing, I'm going to line this up in the vice dead center on that line there. Then everything I do will go from there. So I'm just going to line that up center. So I've got this thing here. When the light comes on there, look, there's a little LED light in there. There. I'll set that to 0. I'll lift that up. Go to the other side. Right, so I've got 8756. Right, so I've got to get 4378. Four, 3, 7, 8. Right, so that's center that way. Now I do the same this way. Right. Let's just check it again. Lower. Right, so we got 1, 3, 7, 4. Right, so I've got to go 6, 8, 7. Six, 8, 7. Right, so that is center. So that'll be my slot, 1/4 inch wide slot. So let's get the milling cutter in there. Right, so I've got a 1/4 inch cutter in there. The slot is actually 1/2 inch overall width, so I'll be moving this 1/8 that way and 1/8 that way. So let's get going, and that'll be 3/8 of an inch deep. Right, that's the last cut. So that's that slot done. I'll just zero this up again. Right, so that's all zero again now on that part. Now I've got to find the measurement to move this way and that way to get the centre of these other 2 holes. I'll get back to you. Right, so I've moved this over 5/16. That's the centre of that hole. Then I go back to 0, then over 5/16. That'll be the second hole. So what I do is I just put a mark in there. And what I'll do before I move it, I'll put all the drills down. I'll go through with a smaller drill and then a 1/4 inch. These holes go right the way through. Now put the 1/4 inch drill in. that one. Right, I'll just move over and do the other one and I'll get back to you. Right, that's both holes drilled in there. Just take that out of the way. Let's take that out of there and have a look. Well, there we are. That's the slot. Next thing I got to do is mark for the pin that goes through there. Right, I've got that marked out to drill the 1/8 pin hole that goes right through. So I'll just start that off with a little centre drill. Now I'll put the 8th drill in. Right, that's drilled right through for the 1/8 pin. Lovely. Now what I'll do is I'll get that on the cylinder head casting and drill through these other holes so I can tap them in the casting. So what I've done, I've just stuck this part on with a couple of dabs of super glue. So all I've got to do now, drill through those holes. Right. That's all those holes drilled ready for tapping in the casting. I'll just get that off, then I'll be able to tap those holes and then drill those out for a clearance. Right, I'm just drilling these holes out for a 6BA clearance. Right, so that's all drilled, 6BA clearance. Next thing what I do, I'll just clamp this on the milling machine and then I'll just get the tap, 6BA taps to go around there. That's that one. Well, that's one. Just do the rest. This is the last one. Right, that's all 10 of those holes tapped. Let's get it off of there and we can put it back on the cylinder block. Right, put that back on there. And put that back on there. Right, so the safety valve base is finished. The only thing we got to do now on this casting is for the governor. There's a base, obviously, it's got to be bolted onto there, and then the governor will be fitting on there. I'll have to have a look at the drawings for that. So please subscribe to my channel and join me as I build a 2-inch scale Fowler Showmans traction engine.